Hey everybody, so here to talk to you about the prospects of amateur college athletes getting paid money. The reason this was brought up is because in California on Wednesday, California State Senator Nancy Skinner brought a bill to the Senate and it passed with the 31-4 vote. And what this bill would do is it would allow these amateur college athletes to sign with agents and get profit from endorsement deals. And I have no problem with that. Why not? I mean, it can be done responsibly. Maybe they could get half up front so they can do stuff like buy a car or buy a bike to get around campus, and then half could be diverted to a little fund that they can touch when they're either 25 or 30 or something like that. That way they have a little bit something to fall back on. Some will say, well, they can get a job in the summer. No, they can't. If they want to retain their scholarship, they got to go to the weight room, lift weights. They got to go out and do some running or biking. Then they got to practice their craft. If they're a basketball player, shoot 1,000 hoops, 1,000 shots a day to just perfect their craft. They got to retain their scholarship. That's their job. And then during the school year, they just don't. I mean, with academics, they have no time to spare. Now, I think they should also get a little cut of all the money pouring in from their sports. Ticket sales, the massive TV contracts, merchandise, just a little bit, Now, to give you an idea how much money is being brought in, the college football payout, and keep in mind, this is just in the postseason. This is not the money generated during the season. Just the postseason. Each conference will receive $300,000 for each of its schools when the school's football team meets the NCAA's academic progress report. That means like in the Big 12, the conference received $300,000 times 12 schools, that's $3.6 million, and then each of the schools got the same, they each got $300,000. Now that's just the start. Now, each of the 10 conferences will also receive a base amount. The conferences that have contracts for their champions to appear in either the Orange, Rose, or Sugar Bowls, that payout will be about $66 million for the conference. Now the other conferences will split a total of $90 million, and then schools like Notre Dame will get $3.2 million because they're not in a conference. Now, a conference will also receive $6 million for each team that qualifies for a semifinal game, and each conference that has a team go to a non-playoff bowl game will receive $4 million. Also, each team that plays in a playoff semifinal, Cotton Bowl, Fiesta, or Peach Bowl, or the National Championship will receive an additional $2.43 million to cover travel expenses. And they get that $2.43 million for travel expenses whether they need it or not. So if they spend $1.5 million on travel expenses, they pocket $943,000. Now there's a ton of money in naming rights. Corporations are spending in excess of well over $100 million a year for the naming rights to the bowl games. At the lower end, the lesser known bowls, they'll spend $500,000 to $1 million. They'll get their name everywhere, and they'll get like 7 or 8 commercials during the telecast. At the top end, the Orange Bowl, Capital One pays over $25 million a year for the naming rights, and Allstate pays over $20 million a year for the Sugar Bowl naming rights. Again, I don't see why there could be a little sliver taken out for the athletes. Give some now and then divert half of it to a fund later that they can touch, like when they're 25, when they're past the party stage and they're not going to blow it, and they could also use it because most of these athletes are not going to make the professional ranks, and when they get out of school they're going to need a little money to transition into whatever life they lead after that. Basketball, this is even better, the money in this. The NCAA's basketball fund is a large pool of money that gets distributed to conferences based on the number of games played in the tournament. Each team earns a unit of $280,300 for each game they play in. The total earnings is then multiplied by 6 over the next 6 years. So a team that played in one game and lost earned a unit of $283,300 a year for the next 6 years for their conference, for a total of $1,681,000. So again, each team that entered the tournament and lost their first game and then went home earned their conference a total of $1,681,000 over the course of the next 6 years. Now Virginia, Texas Tech, Michigan State, and Auburn each earned 5 units. There was not a 6th unit available for the national championship game because they just don't give it out. So anyways, all Final Four teams earned 5 units for a total of $1,401,500, and that's each year for the next 6 years for a total of $8,409,000. So each of those Final Four teams earned their conference. They each earned their conference a total of $8,409,000 over the next 6 years. And the people that earned that money for those conferences got paid 0. Now the Big Ten Conference will earn, this year the top earning conferences from the tournament, the number one earning conference was the Big Ten. They ended up earning $35,317,800, which will be paid out over the next 6 years. Also, the ACC earned $33,636,000. The SEC earned $31,954,200, and the Big 12 earned just under $22 million. And all this money gets paid out over the next 6 years. Now, there were a total of 124 units to be earned at $280,300 apiece in the tournament. This translates to $34,757,200. And again, that amount gets paid out each year for 6 years for a total of $208,543,200. So again, if there's 14 players on each team and 64 teams, these 796 basketball players earned their conferences $208,543,200 that'll get paid out over the next 6 years. And how much did those 796 players get? Not $1. And again, I know they have their scholarships, they have room and board, this and that, but this is just postseason money. I mean, look at all the money they earn their schools during the season. And then, so I don't see why not. What if you take 5% of those $280,000 units? That would be $14,000. And if there's 14 players on each team, each player would get $1,000 for each game the team played in. So all the schools that played in 3 tournament games, their players would get $3,000. Now, since that unit gets paid out each year for 6 years, maybe they should get 5% each year. So you played 3 games, you get $3,000 now, and then $3,000 each year for the next 5 years as well. And again, maybe it could be like the endorsement money where they get half up front now, and then half gets put into a little fund they can tap when they're 25 years old or whatever. Now, this again, $208 million was generated during March Madness, and you look in those stadiums, in those arenas, you see all the huge crowds. The staff that's working along the sidelines, the coaches, the people doing the telecasts, all the employees, everyone in that arena that's working the tournament is getting paid. The usher is getting paid more than the players that generated all the millions of dollars. Again, the ushers ushering people to the seats were getting paid more than the players on the floor. So I think it can be done responsibly, and also I think I would feel weird as a coach making $6 or $7 million a year walking out to the court with players who's from backgrounds where their families looking for their next meal. So anyways, that's my thought, and love to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you.